All right, hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, members of the SEO Roundtable. Welcome back to another SEO Q&A live stream with me and Nick. Sir lot.
Hello.
How you doing today, Nick?
Okay, I'm a little tired, but I'm going to make it. How are you doing, Chris?
Oh, I'm okay. Also a little tired. Guess I'd let you know that there's been a comment or two I've seen on the channel that were saying, "What's happened to Nick? Where's Nick? Bring Nick back. I
Oof.
miss Nick."
Nick's been stressed the F out. But it's all there's light at the end of the tunnel. I will be coming back and I will be speaking to the people again soon. So yeah, sorry for the hiatus, everybody. I know there has been one, so I'll bring my happy little face back up to say hello and see you guys more regularly now.
Very cool. Um, all right, yeah, so you guys know how it works. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And yeah, it doesn't matter if you think it's a beginner question, advanced question, whatever. Any kind of SEO question, just go ahead and drop them in the chat and we will get to it. I think we have a little bit of a backlog here we can get to first. Definitely don't want to paste this one though.
That's got a lot of info in it.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, I'll just put this on the screen and then I'll read it out. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to put this on the screen and I'm going to read it from here. Hey guys, we own a website called blah blah blah. You built some great links for it. We now no longer need the domain and the website, and we have started a new project called blah blah blah. Okay, so it's a new project and it looks completely different. Um, Same geographic area, but completely different kind of business. It says the niche is quite similar. I don't think that's similar. Do you think that's similar? Can you see that, Nick? Anyway, the niche is quite similar, so I was thinking of
Yeah.
301 redirect. So not to waste my investment, to test the waters, I did a homepage link on the first website. Do you think these are relevant enough to do a 301? And if so, do you suggest to do an acquire page so we can see that they acquired a business, etc.? So blah, blah, blah would link to, and then they give the merger page. I want to open up this one. I've actually I remember looking at this site before,
Yeah, I remember it too now that you're pulling it up.
but yeah, this is a little bit different. But they kind of have the same kind of
I
machinery for some of the stuff.
I feel like yeah, I mean, one is probably like let's say a broader umbrella that would house the other one. I feel like they're from a personal perspective, just like based on what I saw with the domain name, I'd say they're close enough to at least warrant the question. I mean, we can see what the
It looks like they
backlinks look like.
it looks like they do not offer the same like they're not like
Thing.
yeah, they're not taking in those other services and adding it as part of this new business. It just looks completely different. So I guess they're going in a different direction with their business overall.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so they started off with the first one though, and now they're going broader, right?
Yeah, but they're not including that other stuff as part of the new broader one.
Uh, But oh yeah, because one is like a rental,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it? And then
exactly.
this would actually be doing the job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Huh,
Um,
interesting.
anyway, I think there's a decent chance they could work, but I wouldn't do an acquisition page. It'd be like our business has
Nah.
changed. So you're not acquiring the company. You could say, I would try doing the 301 redirect, and if you wanted to, you could send it to a just like saying that, we've changed our business essentially kind of page rather than an
Mm.
acquisition. Um,
I would,
what's up?
rather than do an acquisition page, I have never done an acquisition page, though I have seen
I've seen
it
a
done.
bunch
It's
of people
just
doing them
not
lately
something I
for
really
whatever reason.
like. maybe somebody's talking about it. But what I do like to do as soon as I get a 301, to kind of bring that connectivity together is I like to do a press release,
Hmm.
for crawlers to understand what's going on, at least to a certain degree. And I'd include both URLs in there
I want to show you guys something real quick.
in that
So
press
there's this
release.
website over here called Catster, which is something that for some reason SEOs have been kind of obsessed with this site lately just because they're doing so well in Ahrefs. But anyway, they did two 301 redirects, and for each of their 301 redirects, they did this acquisition page. And then, so what they did was they redirected the home page of the old site to the acquisition page. But then they also moved they literally moved like all of the content from the old site onto the new site and then uh, through one each page individually. But yeah, they decided to do the home page to these acquisition pages and then each other page individually. I think for this project, he's probably not going to want to do that just because
I'm willing to bet
they don't
this
have the same.
Catster site is probably way bigger.
Yeah, I mean it's a big like kind of like content site.
Yeah.
I think what I'd want to do for this site is just redirect it, just like send it all like to the home page essentially. And maybe if there's any pages that you could rebuild that would make sense on the new site, you could do that. But it's essentially
Yeah.
just saying like our business has changed, right? Like, you know, I feel like it's not even this is like a very like white hat thing. It's like, hey, this is our old site, this is our new site. Our business has completely changed. So I would just send it over like that. What do you think, Nick?
I think it's fine. Yeah, I mean they're both under the construction umbrella. So as far as niche relevance goes, I think it's niche relevant enough to at
Yeah.
least jump in there, and you're not going to get a whole lot of volatility if you get any. So yeah, I'm with you on that, and I mean even if it's working right now, I don't like 301ing and doing the home page to an inner page. That's maybe personal at this point, but historically it was always better to just go to the home page. However, any relevant um, permalinks would be 301 to their most relevant counterpart on the new site.
Word, word. All right. So what we got next? Looks like we got a little bit of questions in the chat. Got any more questions, guys? Just keep
Welcome to the
throwing
show,
them
guys.
in there. We're gonna be here
Don't
for
forget
about
to
an
like,
hour.
comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the show.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. And we've also got PBN links on sale this month with code PB12, 10% off PBN links. It's our newly
And
revamped service.
those are fun. We've got all kinds of links within PBN. So homepage contextual links, for rentals, 6 months, 12 months, niche edit style links. So, inner page contextual links in pre-existing content, and then guest post links. So you got a really versatile set of links that you can get out of this one product. Definitely, if you haven't tried it, it is a good time to at least experiment with the products we got there. We're really proud of
Do you know
those.
what this is, Nick? Peter, if you're still here, what is So Me? So the So Me profiles. Do you know what that is, Nick? It says, should you add some So Me profiles to your facelifts affiliate
Oh,
site?
I thought it was some, oh, so,
Yeah, Peter, just clarify what that is. I'll answer the other question first, and then
is it
I'll
so
cover the
others?
question for that.
No.
I'm not sure. And then
Yeah, I don't know either because
WWX.
there's too many things.
Yeah, and WWX says
Um,
recently I started learning SEO. Your blog gives me a lot of help. Thanks, man. Also,
Good.
yeah, glad it helps. And be sure to join our Facebook group as well, SEO Roundtable, or you can just search for Sir Links a lot and find our Facebook group. And we're in there every day, kind of posting tips and answering questions and stuff. And you also get to, see stuff that our other group members are posting or what they think about stuff too. So it's not just us, right? It's more of a community. Um, yeah, I'm really. Peter, if you're still here, go ahead and clarify that, or we'll just try to answer it the best we can. Um, but we'll go ahead and do this one other question. I think it might be an audit. Go ahead and send that to you. Just give us 1 second, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, social media. Yeah, absolutely. I guess you want to put the question up.
Yeah, we'll just do this audit real quick, and then we'll get to that one for
Okay,
Twitter.
right.
I sent you the stuff.
On Facebook.
Yeah. All right. And let's see what the question was. All right. We opened this cool little 4 unit mini resort in Cozumel in 2019. That's cool. When we started out, we were total newbies at the website thing. We learned how to build our site by watching YouTube videos and using Elementor. That's a good start. At first, we
Nice.
thought we were clever by getting cheap links from Fiverr. Yep, a lot of people think they are too. Uh, yeah, not our best move. After that didn't work out, we switched to writing mini blog posts, hoping Google would like all the content and send some traffic our way. Whoops. Looks like we got a little, gonna have to delete some of this off. All right. The thing is, we never really got many good links, so our site's not getting the attention we hope for. That's where you come in. We could use your help to get our site headed in the right direction. And I believe these guys are part of our managed link building service now. So yeah, we can go ahead and look at the backlinks as well, but I guess we'll just give an overall audit since there weren't really any major major questions or whatever you want to say. But yeah, first of all, I mean, looks like you're doing good, man. You know,
Yeah, looking good in the
yeah, up
neighborhood.
to 3K traffic, DR14, 325 referring domains for DR14. And so, yeah, probably got a good amount of spam from Fiverr, but not the end of the world considering you're going straight up right now in the rankings. So that's always good to see. Um,
And honestly, I mean, like y'all are ranking for some what I would say is fairly competitive stuff. Maybe the geographic region is helping you a little bit, but it looks like, in my opinion, y'all are getting some pretty decent traction in the SERPs.
looks like they got a bunch of, stuff related to Cozumel ranking, uh, ranking pretty
Mm-hmm.
well. All kind of like a bunch of like
Yeah,
informational type stuff. But
yeah. I mean, because the reality of it, I mean, this is probably a pretty competitive niche. If I type in, let's see. Yeah, yeah, definitely a competitive niche for the actual niche that you're going for, but very smart to include that informational content and start getting rankings up there related to, mainly what I looked at was the geographic region.
hmm. I'm just kind of trying to look at I'm looking at their website first and just seeing what's going on here. So one thing is like when you click on the villa details page, like I feel like this isn't going to rank for anything, so they haven't really targeted a keyword with it.
Yeah, looks like they're doing better at targeting the informational content than they are their actual
Yeah.
business. So maybe that's a good place to start, would be considering, what you're selling here and then getting a little more specific, beefing up some of these pages like the one Chris was just mentioning, the details page.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused as like what keywords they're actually trying to rank for when you look at like their homepage. I'm guessing like the homepage and the villa
Mm-hmm.
details. I mean, maybe the homepage is kind of like what they want to be their main ranking page because all this other stuff don't really look like rankings.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, my guess is they want to rank for, vacation rentals, something along those lines.
Yeah, so they do, have that in their page title page.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, but pretty weak overall if I'm just looking at the content and then imagining
yeah,
I'm a robot and not a human being, like, not very mm, targeted in that specific area.
yeah. So I guess the first advice
Or just
we
kind
would
of thin,
give is
rather.
figure out like what your main like the main pages you want people to land on your website, and you need to figure out like what you want those, like what the keywords are for those pages, and optimize the pages properly for that. Because it looks like they're
Hmm.
kind of not. But like Nick was saying, it looks like you've done a good job on the blog, which is good, but you've kind of like gone in reverse, right? You've like, this is the blog content is kind of like your wide net, and the people reading the blog articles will have a much lower chance of converting just because they're looking to learn about the destination. They can convert. I'm not saying they won't convert, but you also want to gun for your main keywords correctly, which it looks like you might not quite have done here. Um, Anything else to say about the website?
Not really. Yeah, I do feel like that's something they're gonna have to kind of really think about because essentially they're going to be competing with things like hotels or
Yeah,
bigger companies that are
it's gonna get
marketing
very
more
competitive.
properties. So you're going to have to find some kind of angle um,
I mean, they're also going to be
for
competing with
this, you
like,
know?
like the big like
Yeah.
hotel aggregators. They're going to be competing with like
Oh,
Airbnb for these
yeah. I mean,
keywords.
I was looking up like vacation rentals SERPs, and it's
Yeah,
all big
like DR
stuff.
90 plus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be an easy road, but you are on the right track, right? Like, so I can see why they think maybe they're not getting the rankings they want, even though they're moving up in the SERPs. But that has to do with y'all, kind of retargeting how you're going about getting these rankings that you actually want. And the good thing is, when you've got a graph like this, it means you're healthy in the SERPs. So new content, if you're optimizing it using Surfer or Pop or something like that, maybe tailoring it more to what you actually do versus the informational content now, or mix it in, with the budget every month, get X amount of each kind of article. Then kind of go from there. But it is going to be, I feel like, a pretty. It'd be good to sit down and just really map that out, because you are competing
Hmm.
against some big boys out there.
Yep. Yeah, so might be a good idea to go over some lower competition stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and we can look at the backlinks real quick as well. Even though you kind of told us you bought a bunch of stuff from Fiverr. Looks like they had about
Yeah,
376 groups of links. Let's sort that by domain traffic 250 just to get a lot of the junk off with no traffic down to 46. They have a Wikipedia link.
nice.
Yeah, that's
I would
nice.
say that their anchors look nice, and I think that's probably if they were using really spammy tactics, that's maybe what kind of saved them because it looks like they never got any kind of dip or anything.
Yeah,
Um,
like looking up the backlinks, you
Good
can just
spread out.
instantly tell it's from Fiverr. I don't know why Fiverr does this, but they always have the name of the website at the end of the title.
Yeah.
Like, why do they do that?
Mm, you know,
It's like,
just
hey, we're
setting
Fiverr
stuff up,
links.
slapping stuff together, fast.
Yeah. But some looks like they got
But it's
some
okay,
decent
honestly.
little links in here as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of niche relevant stuff, or at least geographic relevant stuff.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world for sure. And
Yeah, I
a lot
wouldn't
of the
worry about
times,
those
like
links.
even if you get these like really crappy links, I'm not saying to go buy them because they can actually, it can actually hurt you. But a lot of the times, or some of the time, you actually see them actually helping. And you actually can
Hmm.
see much worse links than that helping as well, like spam blog comments or auto-generated spam can sometimes help as well. It's just the risk goes up a lot, right? So a lot of stuff in SEO can work even though it's not supposed to. And I would say for this site, it actually kind of looks like they might be helping him a bit.
Yeah, I think
Because
so too.
I don't think he's been with us for that long. So the good news is a lot of the times it seems like Google doesn't really check you out until you kind of shoot up for a bit. So hopefully we'll be able to get in there and build some quality links and kind of diversify away to something more natural and more powerful so that Google won't eventually try to take that traffic away after they kind of
Right.
take a harder look at them. But yeah, like you said, the anchor text is also looking really natural. I mean, well,
I mean, there's
Some
some,
branded.
but they've got so many branded and naked kind of stuff that the rest I feel like, especially on low DR sites, kind of goes invisible for the most part.
Yeah,
Because it's like what, like 95% of the homepage with natural anchors, branded rather.
definitely not.
No.
So yeah, not looking too shabby. So yeah, I think we're about done on this one. I would, like we were talking about earlier, just try to figure out like what you're targeting for your like main keywords and set up the core of your website to kind of function around that. And just make sure you're properly targeting them with your on-page SEO and whatnot, internal linking. But then the rest of the stuff, the blog looks like it's doing good. I guess we didn't really look at the content on the blog. I've got a feeling it might be AI content because um, they're using
The
AI
images.
images here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean they could just be using prompting, but the introduction does not look like AI content.
I'd find it hard to believe that they've been using all AI content right now, and getting, that nice movement up in the SERPs. Most people, I think, are kind of beat up.
I think it is AI content.
Is it?
Could be wrong, but I think it's AI content that's been they've like humanized it to make it not sound like ChatGPT and to make it sound like more like casual and fun. Could be wrong on that, but anyway, the good news is, a lot of sites are ranking with AI content quite well, and because you're not monetized with affiliate links and ads and stuff, your chances of getting hit, I would say, go down quite a bit. Not to say that you still don't want to follow best practices or whatever, but they also got a good amount of like internal linking going on in here. A lot of internal linking looking good on that aspect. You got some tables. It's easy to read. It's split up into a bunch of little sections and whatnot. It's very pretty readable, but kind of these big walls of text and a lot of like kind of generic images, right? Um, yeah, not necessarily the end of the world. You can have good content with AI if you like tell it to write about like the correct like sections and put together something rather than just having the one-click article generated. And this does not look like one-click article.
No.
Like it looks like they actually
Uh-uh.
put a good amount of. Are these like? Does it like flow into like the
I
next
just
blog
noticed
post?
that. I'm
Okay.
like, wait, I've been like basically infinite
Yeah.
scrolling this article. That's weirding me out, honestly.
Oh, so yeah, I
It
would
adds all of them together.
not want to do that. But he's also ranking quite well right
I
now.
know that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I wouldn't want to do this either. And then honestly, like, but even just from like like a user perspective, I don't like this.
No, no,
You
no.
know,
Yeah, it's confusing. You don't know when the article ends and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, so what we're saying is like we're reading one blog post, and then when that post is done, nothing tells you it's done, and then the next blog post just starts on the same page.
hmm
Um, you want to not do that. I don't know how you've really done that, but
I don't either because I'm like I've never seen that option.
it is infinite
And then it
scroll.
goes
It just keeps
directly to
loading. Oh yeah, it keeps loading. It'll just keep going forever.
yeah, and it does change the permalink as you go down. Weird.
Weird. So maybe he can leave it. This is so weird.
I mean, if
I
it's
don't.
not broke, right? But I just personally don't like it. Is the main thing. And
Yeah, it just depends
honestly,
like how
like
much of this
since it,
content is like showing up like when you okay, let's try to reload the page and just see like what's actually showing on the page. And it looks like the next it's hard to tell because it keeps loading. So I don't know like what's on the page, like what's handled. I'm not a
what
very
do you
like
mean?
technical as like I want to know what Google sees like is actually on this URL. Because then
Oh
it just
yeah, before it switches the permalink, you mean?
and then
I
and
have
then it
no
starts
idea how
loading
that
more and more
works.
stuff.
hmm
But anyway,
Yeah, pretty weird.
what you're doing is not something that other people do. It's not something we've ever seen while doing SEO. So
hmm
we also don't want to tell you to change it because you're ranking quite well. But if we're being honest, you're probably going to want to change it at some point. But yeah, it's hard to give someone that advice when you're doing well in the SERPs. Interesting. All right. Anything else out on that one, Nick?
Nope.
Cool. Hopefully that helps. Okay, let's go back to Peter's question here. Got any questions, guys? Go ahead and drop them in the chat. Also, PBN links on sale this month with code PB12. That's our PBN homepage rentals, PBN guest posts, PBN link insertions. We do a bunch of cool stuff with PBNs if you're in the market for those. And if you're not in the market for PBNs, we sell a bunch more like white hat type stuff as well. Link insertions, guest posts, just regular ones, press releases, a bunch of foundational stuff. Check it out. All right. Should you add social media profiles to your faceless affiliate site in the fitness niche? Well, the thing
Very.
about the thing about affiliate websites right now is that I feel like it doesn't matter what you do, and it doesn't matter how good your website is, that Google might decide to just destroy you. What do you feel about that statement, Nick?
That's
'Cause
probably true. Yeah.
So I feel like I haven't been able to figure it out, and I feel like no one else has been able to figure it out either because there's so many good sites that are getting hit that have social media profiles on their site that have all the eat, that have all the firsthand experience, they have everything, and it seems like no one can figure it out. It's been like a year now at this point.
Yeah,
So
it really
can,
has, huh? It has been
yeah, it's
almost a
been
year.
it's been yeah, almost a
Wow.
year since the September HCU, the very first one last year. Um, yeah, so I mean, best practice is to, yeah, have these social media profiles because you are establishing EAT. And you want to do a faceless affiliate site. So you're basically all your EAT is essentially going, well, all your EAT for like humans, or I don't know if you're doing for like authors or whatever, but you're essentially going to have to fake it. And I think this stuff is honestly pretty hard to fake if we're going to be real about it. Because it's so easy to land on a fake social media profile and you just instantly know it's fake. And I think if we can do that, then Google's search quality raters and Google's algorithm can probably distinguish it pretty well as well. But you could do all the social
Unless
media
you're.
stuff for your brand, so you have your brand Facebook page, your brand Instagram, or whatever other social media platforms you're on, YouTube. Because we have sites in our managed link building program and sites that I've audited recently that are faceless companies, but they still have their social media, but they're completely faceless. They don't have like any real humans or whatever on their website at all, and no author pages or anything, and they're still ranking well. But you don't really know like how long this stuff is going to last, right? It's just kind of a crazy time right now. Uh, I've been blabbing. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, best practice, and any major company is going to have social media accounts, so it's always best practice. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, even if you're faceless, get your business page set up, etc. At the very least. And then if you want to do personal profiles, I mean, like there are ways to get around that. Maybe, there's certain ways to find aged accounts that you can buy, things like that, if you want to go that route. But at the very least, get your branded stuff out there.
Yeah,
That's what brand do you know in any market that's not got all their branded social media accounts? Doesn't exist.
yeah,
I mean, it probably does, but it's you know what I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead and get those.
yeah.
And then
Um,
also, I mean, like, we don't talk about it anymore, but when I got into SEO, IFTTT was a huge thing, and I still like the idea of link wheels because they promote crawlability across sites that are getting crawled regularly, which is social media sites. So syndicating content through all that under a brand umbrella to me is just a good idea overall. At the very least for indexation.
yeah, I'm like grasping for advice because I feel like this is like the first question of someone that's come in a while and be like, "Hey, what should I do on my affiliate site?" Normally, the people with affiliate sites is like, "Hey, my site got smashed. Now what?" This
Yeah.
guy's like, "I'm starting." It's like I'm starting a new affiliate site. What should I do? I'm just like,
Best
"Are you
right now
sure,
is time
buddy?"
to do all things and best practices. Yeah. Yeah. The sites that I'm working on that are doing well with affiliate stuff are actually like affiliate is an afterthought to the overall project.
Yeah,
Um, so take that for what you will.
yeah.
But
It's not the
affiliate
it's
has
not the
gotten harder.
yeah. For sure. It's just a wild market right now. Anyway, we don't need to dwell on that any longer. But yeah, best practice, get some social media, build your eat. You can search our channel for a bunch of different stuff you can do as far as like eat goes and making your business more credible in the Google. And if you're an affiliate
Mm.
site, you're going to need all of that that you can get at this point in time, I think. But let's be real, we don't even know if that's what's wiping these sites out. We've seen plenty of sites with a really good eat get completely wiped
Ain't
out. So
nobody know right
it
now.
is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, hey, Natural K's, how you doing, man? If you guys got any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Hey guys, where would you go to get freelance SEO work, UK or USA? I am dead against Upwork slash people per hour. So the thing about the US is that, oh, I guess it means just where would you go for USA or UK workers? But anyway, UK workers are a lot cheaper for whatever reason. But yeah, it's
Wait, I
hard
think
to
he's asking
just
is
like where to
he's
go.
asking for where he can get work, right? Or
Oh,
I think
I'm not really
he doesn't
sure.
want to put him. Oh, that's how I read it, but yeah, no, I'm not sure either.
Where would you go to get
Professor, if you
freelance
can
SEO?
clarify whether
I
it's
think he
you
means he wants to
looking.
hire. I think he means he wants to hire.
Mm,
But if you're still here, man, if you're still here, Professor, let us know if you're talking about hiring or if you're looking to like sell your services.
yeah.
Go ahead and answer that one later. For SEO for a clinic, we opened a new location. We do our own SEO. We have a GMB profile, keywords on page, have a few backlinks. What is the main strategy to rank for service business? It's the same strategy as everything else, man. Backlinks and content. Get good keyword research. Get your website set up based around that keyword research. Do your on-page SEO based on that keyword research. Make sure you're targeting the keywords that you actually need to be targeting, and then building backlinks to your website. And then, as far as a local business, you definitely want to be getting a bunch of good reviews on your GMB. And then, yeah, as far as link building goes, citations, definitely got to make sure you got your citations. And then from there, it's just kind of the same kind of links that everyone else is using, right? Guest posts, link insertions, maybe you can find some other like local type links, um, maybe some other foundational links like social profiles or whatever. But there's really not much of a different strategy. It's just content and links, plus citations and making sure your website is just structured properly and all that good stuff. You got anything to add on that one, Nick?
Just since it's a very noob question, I'm going to kind of accentuate the fact that keyword research, which Chris said, is going to be, pivotal to the success of what you're doing. So really make sure you've got a grasp on keyword research, how to look for, keywords that might get cannibalized if you create too many articles on the topic, etc. How to break that down into a content map that's actionable, and how to go from there. And then on top of that, we've got countless videos on all this stuff, but like you need to optimize that content to speak to crawlers, not just, 1,000 words on what you think needs to go up there to rank. Those days are over. And then, yeah, like Chris said, same as anything else, main difference from backlinking is just citations for a local site, even though I put them on all sites, quite honestly.
Yeah, definitely
So,
can.
yeah.
Um, all right,
I feel
let's
like
see
we can
here.
just answer professor and we'll just do both, you know,
Okay.
because it's kind of probably the same. Well, yeah.
Hey guys, where would you go for to get freelance SEO work, UK or USA? I'm dead against Upwork and per hour. Yeah, so Upwork is can be good.
Yeah, I like
I'm not sure
Upwork.
why you're dead against it. Yeah, it can be a good way to find places. So if you're looking to sell services, then these platforms are probably one of the best ways that you can get started because um, it's just a good way to get your face out in front of people when you don't have any other way to do that yet. Um, so yeah, if first, I guess we're talking about if you're actually trying to sell services. I think if I was starting from zero, I would immediately get on Upwork and Fiverr. I would get
Yeah.
on Upwork, I would get on Fiverr. I've never used people per hour, have you?
Mm-mm.
But I think Upwork would probably be like the main thing I'd get on. Maybe Legit as well.
Yeah.
Um, I would get on all of those platforms. I would drop my prices low and I would just try to get some clients and do a really good job for them and start building up reviews, start building up, and as you're ranking these sites, you can start building some case studies. You'll start getting like word of mouth referrals and all that. Then you can start raising your prices, and eventually you'll get off of these platforms, right? And you won't need to use them anymore, and won't need them taking a cut of your business anymore. But before you do that, before you get these other funnels coming in, um, yeah. And then, you could also get freelance SEO work just by social media and YouTube are probably the hands down the fastest way to get them. But to be able to do social media and YouTube, you're going to be able to have to produce good content, which is generally going to be kind of like case study type content. Here's what I did. Here's the results it got. You're not trying to sell really hard. You're just by posting this kind of content, you're helping people. But if most people are not going to do it themselves, and you'll just get business this way. But yeah, you need actual, stuff to talk about and kind of proof to show and stuff if you're going to be doing that. So I'm not really sure where you are in your journey. If we're talking about selling services and getting started selling, do you have anything to add on that?
No, it's funny you switched to that side of it versus hiring. No, I mean that sounds right. Use social media, etc. And then like let's not forget, even though we're all digital marketers here, you can do things like pick up the phone. You can figure out how to be actionable when you're talking to small business owners when you're out and about, right? Just get that mojo going that says, I am a industry leader. I am a SEO that can move your website up in the SERPs. Be confident in that. And you'd be surprised how many random people you'll just talk to that are looking for that or that don't even know they're looking for that. We're so well versed over here that we think everybody understands what search engine optimization is. And it's like, dude, I talk to people all the time that don't understand what the hell it is we do over here, right? And this is a giant industry. So, you can pick up clientele all over the place. All the classic sales funnels and all the digital marketing sales funnels still play. And don't be so aggressively against Upwork, I feel like. I just want to
Yeah.
throw that out there. I like Upwork. It's a huge variance. You've got to work real hard at getting, you know, proper jobs or proper hires, but it is a nice size pool with a lot of variability, especially in the format of how much you're going to pay or how much you're going to get paid. So,
And then if we're talking about hiring, um, I guess you could look on Upwork for people that are rated really well. That would probably be the one platform I would go to if I was looking at a platform to hire from.
yeah.
Otherwise, you could, ask for referrals around Facebook groups or people that you know. I feel like asking for referrals is a good way. Just, make sure if you're asking like Facebook groups and stuff, people are going to just spam their shit in there. So,
Yeah.
be a little mindful of that. And people will be trying to help their friends out and whatnot. But if you can find some like genuinely good referrals, that could be good. But, take your time. Take your time looking for a good agency to work with. Try to vet them the best possible. Be careful of anyone trying to like promise you the world or anything or super fast results or super cheap services. Just I would steer far away from any of these things. You're just gonna end up wasting money. But yeah, I feel like Upwork or just asking around for referrals in groups, Reddit, shit like that. Um, maybe even just if you're active on social media, if you're following a bunch of people, you could find people that way as well. But in general, people that have a good like Facebook follow or a good social media following, a good YouTube following, or whatever, they're probably going to be a little bit pricier for you because they're probably pretty well known versus some of these like smaller people who can still do good work, but maybe they don't have the same kind of big brand name or face recognition or whatever. What do you got on that for if someone's trying to hire?
No, yeah, I mean, you hit them all. I think it's going to help if you find somebody that's a business owner that's got somebody they really like, and then you can kind of cross check and Ahrefs what this person is doing, etc., or what the person that works for them is doing. What I wouldn't do is call the billboard number that says we're really good at SEO, but their
Yeah, I
website
wouldn't.
looks like it was
Don't
built
trust
in the
ads.
90s.
Don't click an ad.
Yeah. I would say majority of the clients that I've worked with that had, these SEOs that they were paying exorbitant amounts to fell short. And not because they're bad people, but because, most SEOs have a very general sense of how to rank a website based on like Google guidelines, things like that. And while they're doing SEO, they're not going to be as proficient as people that prod and experiment and really have an ear to the ground as far as ranking websites goes. So be weary of people and then find somebody that really makes you feel comfortable, has a lot of examples of rankability and some knowledge and expertise in the area.
I look for case studies and
Yeah.
referrals. All right. Yeah, any questions, guys? Go ahead and drop them in the chat. Looks like we probably got about 15 or 20 minutes left. So yeah, go drop all your questions. Doesn't matter if you think they're a beginner question or advanced, whatever. We'll answer anything related
Yeah,
to
bring them
SEO.
on down. And don't
Also,
forget to like, comment, subscribe.
like, comment, subscribe. And PBN links on sale this month, 10% off with code PB12. All right. For a 4-year-old website with good links, topical, socials, foundation, branded Web 2, do you ever stop building links to pages or should you just slow down? Top competitors are not building links. Yeah, so I would, I would want to know like where your rankings are, and it's hard to tell. So like if you're like outranking all of your competitors, there's no need to do like heavy link building like moving forward. You could do some light link building here and there just to make sure that they're not like catching up to you or whatever. But at the same time, depending on what your business is, um, a lot of these websites don't get that many links, and it's just not like very natural for them to get links. But that's not saying that a competitor can't join the market and then aggressively, pitch people in their community and get links, right? So anyway, if your rankings are good, or you're beating everyone and you don't really need to get any more juice, then you could slow down considerably. Um, if not, you could try to keep building. But I would just say you want to be wary of the situation where maybe what if you're not already ranking number one, you're not already beating everyone for everything, maybe the question is not more backlinks. More backlinks will probably help, but Google looks at a bunch of different things, and if you're not kind of like ticking all the boxes, then doing more of the one thing that you're already doing very good on might not be the answer, right? So just something to keep in mind there. What do you think, Nick?
Well, I'll start by saying I'm a little bit weary of seeing, good links and then,
Web 2.
Web 2, Socials Foundation. But I'm not seeing any of these high-end, guest posts, niche edits, yada yada. And so then, as I get into the question, I'm like, well, I hope you're not doing stuff like sending countless Web 2s to inner pages with exact match anchors, etc., hoping that that's
True.
going to get above the competition. Um, and there's a million different ways to rank a website, right? But from a personal preference, I say heavy homepage, and I do this basically every month with every asset I worked on. Heavy homepage links, mainly natural anchors or natural-ish anchors that kind of have niche relevance attached to them. And then as you're going up in the SERPs, you're beating out competitors, you're strategically placing some higher end links to inner pages, sometimes with natural anchors and sometimes with exact match anchors, right? And then, like Chris said, if you're already above all your competition, etc., just come in and sprinkle every now and again so that you are staying relevant, which is important. Um, and yeah, that content gap or that link gap isn't getting, beat up by one of your competitors. So, if you really are doing good link building, my opinion is you don't ever slow down on your link building campaign necessarily. Um, but if you're talking about specifically to an inner page, then yeah, if your inner page is ranking number one and has been for the last 5 months, you don't need to keep hammering it with links. Just keep going to your homepage, start working strategically at other pages, and don't forget that if you like interlink from a new article to your old article, that's adding crawlability to that article as well. So different ways to kind of spread that juice, so to speak.
True. All right. We need more questions, guys. Go ahead and drop your questions in
Come
the chat.
on,
Looks like we got
bring us
about
some
10 to 15 more minutes.
questions.
If you have extensions for your domain .co.uk, .co, .net, etc., is it worth building backlinks to them to increase their DA and traffic and 301 to your .com? Okay, so you have more than one domain? Or are you saying maybe like to buy them and then to link build to them and then to 301? Okay, so I guess I'll just answer this. It depends if you already own these domains and they already have backlinks going to them or not. But what I would not do is go and buy them and then build links to them and then 301 them. Don't worry about that. You could go and buy them just to make sure that no one else buys them. If you wanted to, try to like make sure no one else is buying a domain with your brand name, if you're kind of doing that type of thing. Um, and if you wanted to, you could just 301 them all. You could put them up and 301 your site, but I probably wouldn't even do that. I probably just would just have them, just sitting and just not let anyone else have them. Um, but yeah, what I definitely would not do is build more links to them and then 301 them. But if you already have them and they have links, sure, 301 redirect them. But I would not build any new backlinks to them. What do you got, Nick?
Yeah, totally unnecessary. I mean, like it's good for brand protection, but as far as needing to grab them all and then 301 them in, yeah, not necessary.
He
If you're
says same
doing,
domain. He says same domain, just different extensions. So those are different domains. You can't
yeah,
have all of that. Each of these, if you have your website names, maybe it's the same exact name. So for example, sirlinksalot.co, and you have sirlinksalot.co.uk, sirlinksalot.net. These are completely different domains. These are completely
yeah.
different addresses. Um,
If
so
you put the
yeah,
same content on all of them, you're going to get duplicate content issues. So definitely don't do that if you're doing that.
yeah. Yeah, a little confused by this one. I just want to make sure you're not doing anything too weird. So if you got any other questions, Billy's, if you think we need to clarify something on this, go ahead and drop in the chat 'cause I'm not quite
Like
sure what
Chris
he's got
said,
going on.
if you're holding the other domains so that no competitors can come get them and snipe you in the SERPs, that's fine. Not necessarily something you have to do, but it's a good practice. And then if you're really building out your website properly, and it doesn't have a lot of competition, like with the name or with the branding, then you should be able to get up and rank for your brand relatively easy. We yeah, well, if yeah, if there's nobody else out there kind of going after that, so you're not going to have to get all the different extensions and put them under the umbrella. um, yeah.
Cool. Um, all right, guys, looks like we have about what is that, 7 minutes, 12 minutes left. Any questions, drop them in the chat. We are running out of time, so if you got anything you want to ask us, drop it in there. Hi, I write a good content, Google index it, but I have seen no keyword ranking on Google from this article.
Hmm.
I'm trying to figure out a way to answer this that's not negative. What, Nick, what do you think?
All right.
Sorry, we get asked this a lot. I'm not trying to be rude or whatever, but
You need
every time I've seen someone say this, the content is not good.
not good.
And
Yeah.
and just, and it's not your fault. It's been, you've just started doing SEO. So you're not quite sure what good content is yet. And that's perfectly okay. But sorry, Nick, what were you gonna say?
I mean, just yeah, good content. Um, you're gonna have to think about it the way that me and Chris are thinking about it, the way we talk about it on this show. Is it optimized for Google and Bing and the likes? Are you actually using math to get this done? So like you've got sites like Surfer SEO, Pop, that you can use to optimize content based on what the top 10 websites are ranking for. Like, you get it data on keyword density, how long the article should be, etc. Then you've got to take into account things that aren't taken into account there, like, given some first person viewpoint, making it sound unique in comparison to the competitors, things like that. Now, you didn't
It is
mention anything
indexed
about.
though, which is good.
Yeah, that's good. But you didn't mention anything about backlinks or anything like that, so we don't know where you're at there, right? Like a good SEO campaign is going to have both on-page and off-page factors pretty much set, running, and ongoing. So, if you're just writing 1,000 word articles for, best kitty litter or whatever, and they're getting up to page 6 or 7, but they're not moving forward out of that. You can't really
Tastiest kitty
expect them
litter.
to. Yeah, yeah, something along those lines. Best
It's a
smelling.
it's low search volume. It's low search volume,
Yeah,
so we're
yeah,
targeting it.
yeah. So I mean, this is something that is like it's hard not to be cynical at a question like this, just because it's like, oh, good content. Okay, we've seen good content a
Okay,
million
so
times.
I'll try
Yeah,
to I'll try to be a little okay. So you wrote your good content, it's indexed, but you're still missing the rest of the SEO equation here. So, what's your topical authority look like? How many articles have you written on this subject? Did you do proper keyword research? Are your articles, did you do proper on-page SEO? Did you use a tool like Surfer SEO to help optimize these articles? Is your technical SEO sound? It's indexed, which is good. What kind of link building have you been doing? How old is the website? Just because you write an article, it doesn't, I could build a new website, right? I could build a website and I could go write 10 articles. Say I write 10, let's say I even write 20 articles. And these are 20 of the best articles about link building and SEO that anyone has ever seen. They're actually the best. And everyone that saw them would agree they're the best. These articles are not going to rank because I'm
no.
missing all of the other parts of SEO. I still have to do all of the other stuff correctly. And on top of that, the website is new and I have zero backlink authority. Backlink authority is just getting more and more important over time. So, it's not like a gumball machine where, hey, I wrote this good content. Why isn't Google giving me rankings? You gotta do all the other stuff. And there's a lot of stuff you gotta do at this point in time. SEO definitely getting a little bit more complex and just gotta check all the boxes these days rather than just, hey, I did good content or I built some good backlinks, whatever. Yeah. Anything else on that one, Nick?
Lately too, I don't know about you, but it seems like even just going back and editing old articles that you thought were perfect is more and more important, or helps rejuvenate some content if it's
No, I
been sitting
love,
for a while.
yeah,
So
yeah,
um,
absolutely. I love
combing content.
updating old content. That's what I was saying. Like after your site gets to like a certain size, I feel like it's actually just better to update old content
Yeah,
rather than add new content, depending on the size of your team. If you have the team and the budget, then you can do both, right? But if
yeah.
you're kind of like trying to figure out where to allocate resources and your website's at like 200 pages, 300 pages, whatever, that's actually quite a bit of content to keep actually updated and to be checking and see, what the competitors are doing, depending on what your niche is. Some things change and some things don't change. So it kind of depends a bit. But Google really does seem to like, this kind of freshness factor. And every time I go into a website and start updating articles, you just see these jumps and you're like, okay. And it's just kind of like site wide, right? So it's, that's super powerful to keep stuff fresh for sure. All right. Let's see, Belize. Billy says, I have the domains, but no content or website on them. Thanks for explaining things. I'm not using them and haven't built links. Yeah, don't worry about them. You
Cool.
don't need to do anything with them. Just let them sit. If you just want to, make it so no one can use that, the same brand name or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
ultimately, that's not a bad idea. I mean, like, if you've got a niche that you can break into, you really like your brand, it's probably an extra, what, 50 to $100 per year to just hold those domains. So it can be a worthwhile venture.
for sure. I'm looking to see if we got any other questions that we had in our group recently we could answer real quick, but I guess we can answer this one real quick.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one and saw yeah, certain people answering where I was like,
Oops, I don't know what I'm doing, pasting it in there. Yeah, as the group gets bigger, we definitely have more and more people that definitely don't align with how we feel about things.
which is
But
good. I mean, yeah,
but I'm
you
also not
know,
gonna. Back when the group was smaller, used to would go in and I would I don't think so,
argue.
kind of like
Yeah.
just like say what we thought because it was our group. People came in there to hang out
I
with us
I
and stuff,
actually
but I
I
don't do it
started
anymore.
responding to that one person who was talking about a lot of gurus say disavows don't matter, this and that, and to be wary of them. And then I just like sat there and I was like, I need to be doing other stuff right now, like
Yeah,
versus
exactly.
getting into this argument. We've answered this question on live stream 10,000 times, and my opinion's still the same. So yeah,
Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and answer it.
yeah.
So
Again,
10,000th and one time. We're gonna
that's
really
right.
nail it this time. Yeah, I hope you guys are ready because this is gonna be good.
Sick.
Or at least will be the same as the other times we've answered it.
Yeah.
All right. What do you do if your competition is spamming you with insanely toxic links? Heard disavows are bad slash useless. Um, so first of all, I'll go ahead and be very fair on this and preface this that there are two camps according to this question. There's some people who like to disavow proactively, and there's some people who think that disavows don't really do that much at all, and that you should pretty much only use them as a very last resort. Nick and I are in the camp that we basically never disavow, and we only do it as an extreme last resort. Um, there's a couple of reasons for this. First of all, you say your competition is spamming you with insanely toxic links. I feel like for the most part, a lot of the times when I hear people say this and I go and I look at it, I'm like, man, you got nothing to worry
Yeah.
about. This is like,
Yeah.
they aren't even like that bad. They're not toxic, or it's just like super low energy, like Web 2.0s or something. And a lot of the times, it's not even your competitors doing it. It's just, and if it was, they probably did some lazy like blog comment attack or something like
Yeah,
that.
got on Fiverr and ordered you some junk with, you know,
Exactly. With some
ugly
exact match
anchors.
anchors or whatever. Yeah. Um, so also, one of the other big reasons that we don't recommend doing disavows is because I think on the post I commented that 95% of people don't know what they're looking for at disavows, but I think I'd probably have to actually raise that to like 98%, 99%.
Yeah.
Disavowing, unless you are disavowing something extremely specific, if you're just like going into your backlink profile and you don't really know what you're looking for, like you're gonna end up disavowing stuff that's probably helping you. And yeah, so and that's on top of like basically I've seen a bunch of times people disavow and just it's just nothing happens. Cyrus Shepard, as a kind of famous SEO guy, did this funny thing recently where he purposefully disavowed every backlink going to his main website. So it's like he took his main website, his website he gets all his traffic on, and it was like, yeah, I'm going to disavow everything. And he did it. He disavowed every single link, sent it to Google, and his rankings went up. He
That's
disavowed
funny.
literally every backlink that he had.
Maybe it's
Um,
time for us to change our camp. Maybe
it
we
was like
just
slight.
start disavowing everywhere.
So anyway, and they're also talking about like phasing out the disavow tool and whatnot. But there are some cases when I'd recommend disavow. Like for example, there's these like weird k.html backlinks going around lately, and I've actually seen a couple people that I know, like in real life, who've disavowed them and had at least like some moderate success with it. Um, but yeah, in general, I know there's some people out there that are such like big disavow believers. I just I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'm an
I
idiot,
think a
but
lot of people too are OCD and they see in
yeah,
Ahrefs or Search Console like a couple of like ugly anchors and they're like, oh, this is keeping me down. And I remember being like that when I was first in SEO, so like
for
I can't
sure.
dog it. I remember taking extreme actions on stuff that was a non-concern now that I look back on it, which is natural. But yeah, last resort. If you are going up in rankings steadily, and you have been for a while, and you've got some spam coming in, my opinion is to leave it alone,
Yeah,
even if it bothers you mentally.
yeah,
Now, if you were on a positive trajectory and some competitor found a way to do some real solid negative SEO and is hammering you, and you know exactly which links you're targeting, and you're really good at combing links, and you really understand what a valued link is in comparison to a spam link, which sometimes you might think but you don't, then yeah, go ahead and disavow. But yeah, I'm still gonna say I mean, like, camp of rarely doing it, last resort kind of situation.
yeah. Especially if your traffic's going up, just don't worry about it. Like the only way I would consider it is if like your traffic's going straight down and you've got some crazy
Yeah.
stuff coming in, and I'd probably hire a professional if
And
unless
then
you really knew what you were doing. I would do it myself, but
But dude, even the professionals, I feel like because I've ordered them before to just like kind of see what they're doing. Like I feel like they're using these algorithms with from tools that I'm not gonna say
exactly.
they're bad, but they're just
They don't want to go link
there's a
by
lack of
link, and so
attention to
they take
detail.
they use the tools, and they exactly they like you said, it's kind of works more like an
Spit you a
algorithm
report.
working like broad with a broad net versus like going link by link, and so you can end up getting rid of some stuff that was definitely helping you for
Yeah.
sure.
And one last thing, like, insanely toxic. When I imagine what you're saying with insanely toxic, it's like Viagra, GSA style spam, things like that.
Get
That shit
ignored. It's
gets
just
ignored. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, it's so obvious. So take it for what it is, but
And last
I
thing,
wouldn't worry about it.
most people do not know how to do good negative SEO. So unless your competitors are like pretty advanced, like black hats,
Casino folks, yeah.
what they're doing is not going to hurt you. They're just
Yeah.
idiots, and they're trying to get a leg up on you. But I wouldn't worry about it. Google will ignore it, and it might even help you. I've seen these toxic links actually help quite a bit because Google's not perfect. So all right, I think we might have had one more question.
Yeah, but it's, well, yeah.
It looks like he copied and pasted.
Or is it just is it a different person? Oh, yeah. I mean, we answered it.
Yeah, Santori, Sanatani, sorry. I would, go back to our other thing that, you're asking a very big question, which is essentially how to do SEO, which is not something we can really answer here. When we answered it, we kind of give you the broad overview on the last question you asked, was the same answer for this one.
Yeah.
You need to do SEO. You can't just put a website and throw up some content on it and expect it to rank for stuff. Um, and you're also on an expired domain, which can be a little bit harder. Could be a not a good. It's
Mm.
especially when you're new to SEO, it's a lot easier to start on a fresh domain because you're eliminating these other variables, right?
Yeah.
Until you can really learn and understand what's going on. Um, Anything on that, Nick?
No.
All right, guys. Code PB12 to save 10% on PBN links this month. We got anything else cool to talk about?
Hmm. No, I don't think so.
Cool. All
Business
right,
as
guys.
usual, yeah.
Business as usual. We might have some interesting developments in the link department. We might have some new
Oh
backlink
yeah.
types on the way for you guys, but we won't announce that quite yet. But it's a possibility.
Yeah, because
So
Last time we announced it, it didn't come to fruition. So we're working on a
True.
project that we've wanted for a long time. Hopefully we get it this time and can pass
True.
it on to you.
All right, guys, 10% off PB and links, PB12.